All right, good evening. Welcome back to Calculus 2. So here we have the integral of the sine of the natural log of x dx. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to, this is, I don't really know, like the u substitution isn't really going to help because I could say set u equal to natural log x and then du would be 1 over x. I don't have a 1 over x. So I don't think that's going to go. I don't think this is a simple u substitution. I think what we have here is an integration by parts here. So we're going to go ahead and say, how about we say let u equal? Well, we have two functions here, right? We have sine of natural log of x, and then we have dx. Taking the derivative of dx is going to give me d squared dx squared. That's not really that helpful because then I have to integrate twice, and that's not doing anything for me. Whereas I don't know the integral of sine of the natural log, I do know the derivative of sine of natural log. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and make u equal to the sine of the natural log of x, and then we'll go ahead and take that derivative. Like I took Calc 1, I can take this derivative. So the derivative of sine is cosine, and then it's the same thing inside. And then we have to deal with the chain rule, which is the derivative of of natural log x, which of course is now 1 over x. What's left? Well, what's left is dv, which is going to be dx. Therefore, v must be x, which is integrate. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our swish and flick here. So we have this is equal to x sine of the natural log of x, okay, minus the integral. Well, the x and 1 over x are going to cancel. So minus the integral of cosine of natural log of x, okay? And now we have to go ahead and take this integral. Like, well, that's a huge help. We went from sine to cosine. Like, yeah, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is going to be equal to x sine of natural log of x minus, and again, we have to go ahead and say, well, set u equal to cosine of natural log of x. And are you sure this is helping? Yeah, this is helping. And then dv is equal to dx, v is equal to x. And then we can go ahead and take this derivative. Derivative of cosine, of course, is going to be negative sine of the natural log of x times the chain rule to 1 over x. So we can go ahead and figure out what's going to happen here. So we have x natural log, x sine natural log of x minus, and now we have this integral. Again, we're going to do our swish and flick here. So minus x cosine of the natural log of x. Okay, minus plus, because minus and negative, this negative sign with the sign is going to change. Integral of the x and the 1 over x are going to cancel. So we're going to say sine of, I should put my little guy here in the parentheses, sine of natural log of x. All right, let's go ahead and distribute a negative sign here and figure out what's going to be happening. So remember, this all came from the integral of sine of the natural log of x, right? Again, I'm sure it's delightful. This is equal to x sine of the natural log of x, okay, minus x cosine of the natural log of x, okay? And then we're distributing this negative sign, so we're going to say minus the integral of sine of the natural log of x. At this point, I'm going to say, wait a minute, I think I'm having a deja vu moment here. Those things look kind of familiar to me. Tell you what, why don't we add the integral of sine of the natural log of x to both sides so we can add the integral of sine of the natural log of x to both sides here. So in the end, well, penultimately, we have two integrals of sine of natural log of x, and this is equal to x times the sine of the natural log of x, okay, minus x cosine of the natural log of x. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to do two more things here. We're going to divide everybody by 2, and we're going to add c to the end here. Okay, so we're going to have that the integral of sine of the natural log of x is equal to 1/2 x sine of the natural log of x. Go ahead and put some parentheses there. Minus 1/2 x cosine of the natural log of x plus c That's going to be my answer for this thing. Okay. So integration by parts, frequently you have to do it more than once. Um, a lot of times, if you look this up on the internet, people will tell you that the DI method or the tabulature method, which is fine. You're allowed to use that. You just have to realize that that tabulature method doesn't always it doesn't always flag it when you have this like circular kind of, I have to add this to the other side and figure it out. So if you're going to use those, you can use it. There's times when I want to use it, and I'll tell you what those times are in the next problem. And there's times where like, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I'm going to go slow. I'm just going to do integration by parts the way I like to do it normally, rather than try to take the shortcut. If you don't want to take the shortcut, I didn't like to take shortcuts. You don't have to take a shortcut. Just work it out. Everything will work out just fine. Everything will be good. Do it the way you feel comfortable with doing it. In any case, thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one, and take care.